Hello, Patreon people. Thanks so much for subscribing. I want to go over this session here. This was an interesting session here. This was a target that I had grabbed off of a remote viewing target website, and I was blind. Grabbed it, created a target reference number for myself, and then did the session. And I went and looked at the feedback. The target ended up being a photograph of an unidentified flying object above New York City. So this was when it was taken, October 15th, 2011, 2:28 p.m. So I don't understand why it's dark here, but maybe they changed the contrast to bring out the object more. I don't know. But I think, if memory serves, it was taken from an airplane flying over New York. Typically, for these targets that are on these target websites, they're usually verifiable. But this one is an unverifiable target, so I don't know what it is. But it's interesting. It was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to do, fun to research too. Because once it was done, I reached out. Basically, the target link was a link to a YouTube video that this guy had made, who had took this photograph. And so what I did was I reached out to him and I asked him if it would be okay if I did a session showing his image. I don't want to get in trouble. And he was cool about it. He was pretty serious about it, in that apparently he sees objects and stuff like that often, or takes photographs of them. So unbeknownst to me, I remote viewed it. As I'm going through my session, I'm getting this thing here. Something's coming through. It's hollow. I don't know what's going on. There's something here, and it's reminding me of something right inside. There's kind of echoes, kind of hollow inside. It's hollow inside. And I'm going through and I'm trying to get some sense of what the hell, and a memory comparison comes in. Let me just fast forward. Boom. A memory comparison comes in. Memory comparison means that the perceptual signal is going through my core mental processes. Whatever state the target exists in, that we can access through our minds, through our perceptual apparatus, can make contact with this location in time and space. Obviously, this is in the past, several years in the past, that had taken place. So whatever state that exists in, I don't know. We don't know what state that exists in. But somehow our minds can go and access it through time and space, and then acquire that whatever state it exists in, bring it through our core mental processes. Our core mental processes begin to translate it into things that we can comprehend. As it was being comprehended and translated in my mind, it gave me a mental comparator, a memory comparison of this object. Strangely enough, this was a recent target for us in the crypto viewing group, for an ARV. It's kind of funny that would be in it, but this was the memory comparator, and the most important thing about this session was how good of a memory comparator. This was a great memory comparison that was captured on video. In fact, I want to play that part. It reminds me of that chrome shaped thing in Chicago. a weird chrome thing in Chicago. It's reflective. But that was a great example of a memory comparator. So this is what's interesting. This is why I wanted to go over this video, because as I continue on here in the session, it's starting to become, well, let me just go over it. Because exactly what this is, I have my own idea of what this probably is, and it came through in the session here. As I'm going through it, okay, I'm getting this thing, all right, hollow, and it's kind of reflective, reminding me of that thing. But there's something unusual about it here. What is most? Air, like air or oxygen? Air and oxygen. Oxygen, air. What about it? What about it? The idea is coming into my mind, oxygen and air. And what's going on with that? My movement here was, what is the most interesting about this? I had to find something interesting here. That's how I prompted myself. I prompted my mind. I trigger my curiosity by asking certain questions and things that I respond to well, which is like, what's most interesting here? Or what would I find most interesting here? I have to trigger my own curiosity, and that brings things forward for me. It's just a little technique I've developed for myself over time. Right, what am I doing? I'm breathing. I'm getting all this air stuff. I think you might be able to see where I'm going with this. It's like something inside. Something inside, like the air inside or something like that? Air inside? Oh, what could that possibly be? Let me go back here. Something floating around it? Oh, wait, back it up. What did I write here? Maybe gas? Gas? Gas, maybe? What about the gas? It's like something around it, something floating around it. Mm-hmm. Something floating around it. Uh-huh. Or in it, maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I keep going here. I keep getting this idea of gas. Oop, let me back that up. Gas bubble? There we go. Like gas or gas bubbles? Gas bubbles? Yeah. Something like these gas bubbles now. What was interesting about this was here I have a target that is an unidentified object in the sky over New York. I'm blind to the target. I have no idea that that's what the target is. I'm going through the session. I'm getting the shape. I'm getting a good mental comparator. I'm getting also, this thing is hollow inside, but inside there's some kind of gas, bubbly. I'm getting the ideas of oxygen and air. And so my conclusion is that the object is a balloon. I didn't want to say that because the person who took the photo was very serious about the fact that this is a UFO. This is aliens coming down. I mean, this is, that they're in communication with the aliens, and that this is an actual alien ship. But that's their assessment of it. My assessment of it, looking back on it, And if I were to compile the remote viewing, in this circumstance, I would look at the remote viewing data. But the data would suggest that it's probably a balloon, a hollow object full of gas. What do you think? What do you think? I'm getting gas bubbles and all these types of things.
Gas bubbles?
Gas bubbles. Helium is a gas. Is you following me here on this? Helium is a gas. So I think in this circumstance, I can go ahead and make a conclusion that based on my remote viewing data and my experience with this target, is that I'm dealing with a balloon that is reflective and shiny in the shape of like that thing in Chicago, and it's full of gas. What do you think? That's my assessment of it. Like I said, I didn't want to say that because the guy who took the photo was very, he's very serious about it, and I was just happy he allowed me to, make a video with his image there. Kind of give him a little credit for that, and maybe expose him and his work to more people through my own page. But interesting session. Let me know what you think. That's my assessment of it. What's your assessment of it? I'm curious to hear what you might have to say. But that's it for the assessment of this remote viewing session. Many more to come. Thank you so much.